Stars shining brighter, perfume.
For Tamara and Richard Wraith, it is all too easy and sometimes all too painful to remember their daughter Amber at age 16.
Birds singing in the sycamore tree.
She was living life to the full. She was loving everything she did. She was heavily involved in lots of extracurricular activities, and she had a broad, wide circle of friends.
She's full of energy, full of the joy of life, really.
This was the Amber they knew, the girl who's singing this song,
Just hold me tight and tell me
who enjoyed sports, who danced with her grandmother.
while I'm alone and blue as can be.
But soon, in 2019, Amber's outlook and her mental health took a troubling turn.
Over just a few months, she went from being confident, outgoing, and happy to go to school to beginning to have quite severe anxiety and school refusal, and losing that confidence and ability and poise that she originally had.
At 17, Amber started to spiral, her mental health racked by depression, anxiety, and repeated thoughts of suicide. Numerous times in the next 2 years, she called 000 herself, seeking help.
She recognised she was in distress. She was seeking help. The emergency services were fantastic and very responsive to come and take her to hospital. But once she got to hospital, there was kind of this downplaying, dismissing.
It's like a disbelief. So disbelief and then discharge to nowhere, like no real follow through.
Amber was treated by 8 psychiatrists and psychologists, a mental health outreach center, and 4 hospitals, often after threatening to take her own life. At the time, her condition had a presumptive diagnosis of borderline personality disorder.
In the future, we can go back and start making those comparisons.
Philippa Thomas is the CEO of Peak Body Mental Health Victoria.
Certainly, we do have a long way to go in terms of that acute and crisis care. These are very, very challenging presentations to respond to. It's not like another kind of illness that you might see in an emergency department. You can't detect or confirm your diagnosis through an X-ray or a blood test.
Amber's last presentation was in April 2022 at Melbourne's St. Vincent's Hospital, where she'd been seen 4 times previously. Her father received troubling text messages from Amber as she waited for them to arrive at the hospital.
So suicidal. Death is a nice option. I'm excited to die, to be with God, to be at peace, to be out of pain.
While I was on the phone to them, she was sending me those suicidal text messages. And we said to them, no, you cannot discharge her. You must keep her safe until we get there.
Despite the texts, Amber, now an adult at 19, refused to be voluntarily admitted to a psychiatric ward. Instead, she was discharged with a plan that the hospital would stay in contact to assess Amber's mental state and risk. 2 days later, a review by a St. Vincent's psychiatrist observed Amber was guarded and likely experiencing depression. 2 days after that review, while staying at her parents' home, Amber went for a bike ride. Soon after, her father received this text.
I'm sorry, but it's my time to die.
Where are you?
Can't say.
Amber, you have so much to live for. 23 minutes after this exchange, Amber took her own life. You knew Amber needed help. She knew she needed help, and you couldn't get it.
It's absolutely shattering because you see them trying so hard and you want to help them. We're not psychologists. We can love our daughter to bits, and we did. But love is not enough when someone is severely unwell and psychotic. You need more help.
Leading psychiatrist Professor Jayashri Kulkarni gave evidence at the Coronial inquiry into Amber's suicide, delivered in July.
Amber's case is a tragedy, and unfortunately it's not that rare, and that's what really troubles me and everybody else in the mental health care system.
Good work, Amber. You're going well.
The coroner concluded the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder may have been incorrect. After reviewing her medical records, Professor Kulkarni believes it's likely Amber was pre-schizophrenic.
The sad part about this is that had the diagnosis been made accurately, then appropriate care and appropriate treatment could have been provided. And I'm still left with, this could have been prevented and she could have been alive today. And that is a horrible situation for any person, and particularly her family, to be left with.
The coroner concluded the decision not to subject Amber to involuntary treatment was appropriate, but found there were deficiencies in the care and communication with her family by St. Vincent's. In a letter signed by the St. Vincent's Hospital CEO, it apologized to Amber's family. We acknowledge that had you and your family been listened to more genuinely and in isolation from Amber, your concerns may have influenced the weight placed on the decision to admit Amber to our inpatient unit. We are deeply sorry and accept responsibility. In response to questions from 7:30, St. Vincent's said it had worked with Amber's parents to improve risk assessments and better communicate with patients and carers. It also said a new process now ensures a consulting psychiatrist reviews mental health discharges. A report from Mental Health Victoria said the system is still struggling to meet a growing demand for care post-COVID.
If you are working in a resource-constrained environment, it makes it almost impossible for people to do that work. It takes time, it takes connection, and it takes care.
Tom Boyd's got it. Tom Boyd goes long. How will it bounce? The stadium holds its breath. It's a goal.
With the right mental care, lives can be turned around. Coming off a stellar grand final performance, in 2017, former AFL player Tom Boyd seemed to be on top of the world. He wasn't.
The one thing that really stuck out in my head was, I need help.
How could this guy have had problems?
Boyd had suffered for years with severe anxiety, depression, and insomnia. So bad, he could no longer play.
Year on year, things were just getting more and more out of control. And the likelihood of something terrible happening was really quite high at that moment. Like, you get to the point where I don't have a lot of choices because...
Boyd did reach out and got psychological help. He's now a mental health advocate. He says without the right care, his story could have wound up like Amber's.
It was so easy to go down that path. It was so easy for every day to be worse than the one before. It was so easy for every issue to be catastrophized and to never be able to get on top of this stuff and feel like you were drowning.
Amber's White Light Foundation was established by her parents after her death, in part to improve protocols in hospitals for diagnosing mental illness and assessing the risk of self-harm.
We were so in shock that somebody in a country like Australia, in a city like Melbourne, could not get support in a moment of crisis, that we just didn't want anyone else to go through what we're going through. We wanted it to be better for everybody else who finds himself in such a ghastly situation.
Like this garden, comprised of roses given as gifts after her death, they hope the foundation can also be Amber's legacy.
Our pain will never go away. There will always be a hollow and a vacuum in our family without Amber. But she wanted always to help other people as well. And we have to honour that.